something, yeah.
Megan, you could just tell us you was muling guns. Like we not gonna judge you.
Nah, the federal government gonna judge her when they lock her ass up.
She not gonna make it that far. They gonna make her off herself. Remember, she already said she was going through depression and trying to attempt all kind of stuff. Yet, remember, they already set the stage for it. Remember, she came out with that whole album, that Cobra. What was the other song where she talking about her pussy's depressed? And she said, there are days I cried, I wanted to take my life. You already didn't put it out there. So when it do happen, they not gonna think it's nobody, no foul play. They're gonna be like, man, she been depressed over this Tory shit.
Lost a nigga and her best friend.
Exactly. That's how the story. They're not gonna paint. Oh, she got off because she started telling. See what I'm saying? That's why I be telling people, be careful about what you vent out to other people, because people will use that shit to get you.
And they definitely will talk about it behind your back.
And now, if something do happen to her, what they gonna say? No, it couldn't have been foul play. Remember in the Cobra song, she said she tried to take her life. Remember that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, so she been depressed for a long time. Look, mental health is important, y'all. Now we're gonna go on that bullshit. Mental health, guys. Reach out to your friends. That
And
bullshit.
better yet, you think Kelsey not feeling some type of way now after Tory just got stabbed up?
No, I think she's sitting there like, yeah, nigga, that's how I felt when you let that bitch cut me. I think she's still mad about that shit. You let that bitch cut me up on my leg and now you got cut. It don't feel good, do it. That's what
But
I
that's when
think.
you think he let her get cut, or you think he tried to help her?
I mean, shit, I wouldn't have got cut up if you wasn't fucking the bitch in the first place. And then you called her your girlfriend. After I whooped the hoe thinking I'm defending my man. And you gonna say, I'm just trying to make sure my girlfriend okay. Oh, for real, nigga, for real? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't think, hell no, I think Kelsey's still mad about that shit. I lost my best friend for a nigga that wanted my best friend. Now I'm in a situation I was already doing shit I had no business doing, riding with my best friend. I ain't want to do no mule no guns. I didn't want no gun. I'm just doing with my main ace bitch. She brought me, so I'm whatever she say, I'm on go. And that shit
Hmm.
backfired on me. Now everybody think I'm this bad person, not really realizing I want to tell the truth. I just can't. For the
Cause a
safety of
lot,
my family. At this point, I got kids now. I really can't say nothing. So hell no, I don't think she feel bad for Tori at all. I think she like, damn, it's fucked up, but shit, it is what it is. We all look, we all knew what we did. We all knew what we was signing up for. Nigga, you knew what we was doing.
a lot of lives got fucked up when he bust that when that gun got lit off that night.
Exactly. Because remember, the prosecution didn't even, nobody's asking the real questions. Whose gun was it? Well, I don't know. So you got in a car and just found a gun in the car.
And started shooting.
How did you find the gun in a car if y'all was arguing? You went into a bag. So where was the gun at, Kelsey? When he grabbed the gun, where did he grab it from? See what I'm saying? Nobody asked those type of questions. Where did it come from? He had
They
it
don't
on
want
him.
it.
So you telling me
They
he had
don't
a
want.
gun in the pool?
They don't want to tell you what a gun was, because then that would implicate other people.
That's my point. That's why I said the and defense knew. That's why I said the defense knew what the fuck they was doing. Cause you didn't ask none of these questions. How do you? Everyone's story is the same until it gets to a certain point. All three of y'all agreed that y'all got in a car and an argument occurred. Before that, remember, it's not your car. This is Tori's car. So how did you know where the gun was if it's not your car, it's not your security, and you just got in and started arguing? How did you know where the gun was at? Bitch, because it was your gun.
That's
And the
why
process
she
and the
busted.
defense never asked any of this.
I know. I heard a delay in them gunshots.
It matches 5 shots. Megan, you said it was 5 shots. The man said three in the air. Tori grabbed the gun. We hear 3 shots with a pause, and then we hear two more. No screaming. You said you didn't get shot. You stepped on glass. We didn't hear nobody
Ooh,
scream help.
look what the doctor said too. Look what the doctors say, y'all. Pay attention. Look what the doctors say, y'all. Look at that, twin. Look what the doctors say. Dr. Anthony Tafali on 720 described the injury as a laceration from broken glass.
Hmm.
There is no mention of gunshot wounds, fragments, or ballistics trauma. He also described Megan as a pleasant and no accurate distress, acute distress. Dr. Milton Little, he diagnosed it. He diagnosed it, y'all, as bilateral gunshot wounds based on imaging. He removed three small fragments under general's anesthesia and called wounds superficial, yet performed surgery, claimed fragments were bagged and given to police. He removed three small fragments under general anesthesia and called wounds superficial, yet performed surgery. Claimed fragments were bagged and put. What? That don't even make sense though. What do he mean by superficial?
My bad. Would you say it again?
It says Dr. Milton Little diagnosed. He diagnosed it as bilateral gunshot wounds based on imaging. He removed three small fragments under general anesthesia and called wounds superficial, yet performed surgery. Claimed fragments were bagged and given to police.
Oh, he fucked up and lied right there. Wound superficial? That's a lie.
That's why I said, what do he mean by superficial?
A wound that's superficial is a minor injury that's on the upper part of your skin. What's it called? Is it the dermis? Is that what it's called? The top layer of your skin? Like that's what they call things that are like scrapes, cuts, lacerations, burns. Those are superficial wounds.
Mhm.
So why did you have to have surgery if the wound was superficial? That means that it was on top of the skin. So why did you have to cut in the skin?
Wow.
That don't even make sense.
Wow. Wait, so yeah, Lake said superficial means something minor, like a scratch.
It's a superficial wounds is basically exactly what that first white man said. Anthony, whatever what he says, a laceration and scrapes and cuts, that is a superficial wound. A superficial wound does not, it only affects the outer layer of the skin. It doesn't involve deep tissue, muscles, nerves, none of that. They heal on their own. So see how it says yet perform surgery. Why did you perform surgery on a wound that's on the outer layer of the
That's
skin?
considered superficial. That's considered superficial too.
That's my point. You don't get surgery for superficial wounds unless the wound gets infected or like the bleeding doesn't stop. And then on top of that, you're gonna need a tetanus shot. But
Wow.
but remember, in order to get surgery, that's for like drastic cases. That means the bleeding won't stop. But we just saw the picture in the hospital when you was in there, you weren't bleeding. So where was
At
the
all.
persistent bleeding coming from?
Where did where did all that blood come? Where did all that blood come from? From a superficial wound.
A cut. You got cut with glass and you were bleeding. But remember, cuts with glass, if you had got a deep cut, they would have gave you stitches. So are
Mm.
you saying that's why you gave her surgery? You stitched her up because she had cuts from glass? Because it couldn't have been no bullets.
He tried to make it seem like he took the fragments out
But
and
that's
then
my
had
point,
the
though. If you took the fragments out from surgery, why did you put in your report it was a superficial wound? I don't think they thought niggas was gonna know these medical terms. Nigga, we know what superficial mean. Outer layer, cut, scrapes, burns, lacerations. That don't that don't make sense.
A lot of this ain't making sense. And my like I said, you this is how you know he was railroaded. Because if all this evidence is on the table, how do a jury find this man guilty?
Well, then my question is, how did the ER doctor, how did he not catch it? But the orthopedic doctor did?
Mm,
That don't make sense? Because remember, ER refers you to a specialist. If you pay attention, the ER went to the orthopedic who went to the plastic surgeon. That's proper steps, right?
mhm,
But the
mhm.
ER man is saying there was no wounds. There was no ballistic trauma. She was pleasant. She wasn't in distress. She was fine. She said it was glass. I looked, I saw the glass, I picked it out. It was good. But then the orthopedic doctor comes in and says, "Oh, well, actually, I see the bullets now. Now I see the bullets." Well,
And guess
why
what?
the ER doctor didn't see
Hold
that
up
shit?
too. And who is this black man? Pay attention, y'all. Who is this black man?
Now we got to look into
Is
him.
he connected to Rock Nation? Is he connected to Beyonce?
Because look at the
Is
dates.
there pictures? Are we gonna find pictures with him and Jay-Z in it?
Hmm.
Is we gonna find pictures with Dr. Milton Little? Do we need to look up Dr. Milton Little? Do he be hanging with the celebrities? Let's look into Dr. Milton Little.
All right, here I looked them up. He
Doc-
specializes in pelvis, periarticular fractures. So basically, fractures, bones. But Megan, you said in the song the reason that your bones weren't affected is because he shot you with a 22. So if the bones weren't affected, why did they bring an orthopedic in to look at your bones?
He's the cover-up doctor.
Thank you. We just need one doctor to lie and say he saw that. Because look, he said he gave them to the police. What did the police say? Oh, we have them. What did the prosecution say? No, the prosecution said we have them. What did the detective Ryan say? We lost them.
Hmm.
But you got him from Milton on
It
the
never
same
was
day
there.
that she seen, who was that? Anthony. Hmm. That's
That was
funny.
never there. That was fabricated evidence, y'all. They
Yank
never
this
took
nigga
fragments
license.
from her. They fabricated evidence. They never took fragments from her foot. They wanted the white man to do it, but the white man wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, he said,
The
fuck
white
that. I'm
man,
not getting
he
my
was not,
license yanked.
he wasn't about to lose his career over that. They got this black man to do it. He's the setup. He was the bag man.
I looked it up. Articular fractures are in the knee. So we got knee, pelvis, and hip bone. That's what knee, pelvis, and hip bones. What the fuck is the feet at?
What is it? Well, why was he even in? Why is he there?
Well, it says he works at the Cedars Sinai Medical Center. That
And
don't
they
sound
took
like
a
an ER to me. Well, let's look it up.
they
Let's see.
why is he there? I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
let's see.
Rock Nation came and brought him in. Pay attention, y'all. He came in to do the job, just like they did with Michael Jackson. They brought that guy in, the medical dude, to do the job. He had a job to do. This guy got a job to do.
Oh, so they all work at the same hospital. It's a hospital, an ER. So
Hmm.
Anthony diagnosed it, went back, said nothing, and then all of a sudden, here comes Milton. Well, I just want to check on her. Oh
Here come
wow,
the
I
black
see
man.
three fragments.
Let me
What?
put her to sleep. Here come the black man.
Hmm.
I had to put her to sleep under anesthesia. Y'all better pay attention. The fix was in.
Hmm.
He was the one
Yeah,
to put
nah.
the fix in. Because remember, you for them to find him guilty, you have to have fragments. No fragment wounds, then nobody shot.
Hmm.
Now we just got
So
somebody
yeah, so
going
we
to
got to
jail
look
for
into
discharging
Mr.
a gun.
Milton. Who are you friends with?
That's what I'm saying. I bet you it's some pictures of him on the internet. I bet you he connected to somebody in Rock Nation. I wouldn't be
Oh
surprised he
my.
did some work for Beyonce. I wouldn't be surprised. Be surprised he did some work from Beyonce. We find out he did some work for somebody in Rock Nation. He connected. Who do Mr. Milton have ties to? Dr. Milton Little is tied to somebody because the ER doctor said all he saw was lacerations. They came back and undermined him with a black man. Remember, I told you they always get your own people to do the dirty work. They came back and undermined him. Said, no, we see bullet fragments. Pay attention, y'all.
Hmm.
The setup was put in, y'all. The setup was put in. Who is
Okay, so
Dr.
look,
Milton?
I found out. I googled him. I went through his LinkedIn. His
Mm-hmm.
father is Dr. Milton J. Little. His father is the president of United Way of Greater Atlanta. It's a nonprofit organization.
Mm-hmm.
So you
So
run a
so
nonprofit. Your son is
so
hmm?
so we so that that's where the money went. So the money got funneled through the nonprofit.
Well,
Did
there it is. Figured it out. Rock Nation donates to the United Way of Greater Atlanta.
Rock Nation donates to them?
Yeah.
We cracked the case. We cracked the case. We
What are
cracked
the
the case.
odds that that your daddy is the president of a company that Rock Nation has donated to, supported before? Oh.
I told you. I
Hmm.
told you. We cracked the case. We cracked the case. How is the doctor receiving donations from his father receiving donations from Rock Nation? Y'all better peep game. Didn't I tell you it was going to be a connection between Dr. Little and Rock Nation?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't I tell you? Anytime you see a black man come in and save the day so they could get a case on another black man, pay attention.
Right here.
He's
Jay-Z's involvement with the United Way extends beyond just financial contributions. He also has been seen as a spokesman for the organization, speaking about the importance of education and community development.
wow. Wow. Read that again one more time.
Boom, I found the concert. Oh yeah, we on their ass, Cap. We on their ass. Hold on, let me send you this. Yeah, I found it on YouTube. I found he talks about the benefit. He did a concert for him. Hold on.
Screenshot it and send it to my Instagram.
13 years ago on CNN. So it's not no fake account
Wow.
either. This is CNN.
Hold up. Let me type in Jay Z. You said it's Jay Z
Jay-Z
and what?
talks about United Way benefit concert. That's the thing. CNN's Poppy Harlow talked to Jay-Z about his concert to benefit the United Way kids and President Obama. All right, Obama, we didn't see your name a little bit too
Hold
much.
up. Talks about Jay Z. Talks
Talks United
about
concert.
United. United what? United Way
United Way
benefit concert.
benefit concert. And I'm finna send you the link too
Wow.
on Instagram.
It was on CNN.
Cap, they should have hired us, man. Fuck this, bro. Tory.
To raise millions of dollars.
And
He
the
been
president
had
is
this
the
dude in his
father of
pocket.
the orthopedic.
He been had this dude in his pocket, y'all. Y'all see it? Wow. Look, I'm gonna show y'all for y'all. I'm gonna show y'all for the people that didn't see it. Don't think we tripping. Think we lying. Oh my God! If they don't get to the bottom of this, how did they let this go over their head?
Cause they ain't have
Look at
motherfuckers like us digging.
look at this, y'all. Jay-Z talks United Way benefit concert. Jay-Z talks United Way benefit concert.
And mentions Obama. Interesting.
Now, now let's go United Way, and let's put what's the dude name?
His
What's the
dad's
dude name?
name is Little Milton. Oh no, Milton J. Little. That's the senior. And hold on, I'm finna send you the article too.
Wow, right here. Milton Little, United Way of Greater Atlanta.
Hmm.
Wow. Pay attention, y'all. Wow. The setup was fixed with the doctor. The setup was fixed with the doctor. This is daddy.
We got him
This the doctor daddy, y'all.
right
This
here. I'm
is the
about to send you
doctor
another one.
daddy.
The Atlanta Tribune, Tribune. They deleted the article, but it states he raised over 7 million.
Wow. So now we know the link between the doctor and his father in Rock Nation. Rock Nation is a donor to his father. So he would have every reason to go in that hospital and lie. He would have every reason to go in his hospital and lie, y'all. Oh my
Now, Cap,
God, y'all.
the article, the screenshot I sent you from the Atlanta Tribune says Jay-Z's Rock Nation sent an open letter yesterday. They secured more than $17 million for that organization. But Cap, when you click the article, it's been
Mhm.
deleted. Page 253 out of 476. Why is that page deleted?
You sent it to me to Instagram.
Yeah, I sent the screenshot. You can Google it and it shows you what the little summary. But when you click the link to go actually get the article to read the
It
paper,
deleted.
it's missing.
Yeah, because
All
they
that
don't. They
whole
trying to.
article, that whole entire article is missing. Even Alicia Keys is mentioned in it. It says Jay-Z,
Why?
Alicia Keys, and Meek Mills and others call for justice of Ahmaud Arbery, who sent an open letter today. Now the whole article is 400 pages, but it's been deleted. Hold on, I'm finna send it to you again. So why'd y'all delete that if they did such a great thing? Because you didn't want us to know
Wow.
y'all was connected, motherfucker. Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Hold up. You ain't sending it on Instagram. Or you sending it to what page you sending it to?
I sent it to your
Gangsta
key.
Cat.
Nah, I sent it to your other gangsta underscore cap. Yeah, yeah, I sent it to that one.
Okay.
I even sent you the picture that Megan took of her foot after it was stitched up. Pay attention to how it's linear. Look how it's down. That's a cut, sweetheart. That's not no shooting. And I looked up Anthony, the original ER doctor. I'm looking up his LinkedIn. He's been a medical doctor for 20 years of experience. That's the one who treated it. And he said, and I'm looking at the other report, it said it was a laceration on her left foot. He reported it to LAPD. And then I'm looking at the timestamp. Milton came 12 hours later.
He
So what
came in there
happened
12
during them
hours
12
later.
hours? He came 12 hours after Dr. Anthony, the ER doctor, I'm looking at the timestamps. It was 12 hours after he already told LAPD it was a laceration from glass. 12 hours later, Milton comes in and says he sees glass fragments. What
Pay
happened in them
attention.
12 hours?
They had somebody come in there to do the dirty work.
Exactly. Let me call my son. Let me start getting things together.
Wow. And the white man, Dr. Anthony, know that they put the fix in. He know. Wow.
Right around the corner from the King Center. Right around the corner from one of the things that's incredibly special.
Okay. I'm looking at this shit right now.
ML King Courts.
Oh, it's okay. I found you also the link. I'm trying to pull up the Twitter. That I see some he has a Twitter page. So I'm trying to go through because we're gonna find out what he talking about in these Twitter pages. DMG, I'm already 10 steps ahead of you. I'm looking if he's still employed. I'm look, see DMG, we thinking on the same. That's what I'm looking for right now to see if he's still employed.
Wow.
I'm trying to I want to find this. I know he got to have an interview of some type.
Okay. Let's go to this shit, y'all.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
found the interview of him on Tom's Talk 4 years ago, talking about him and his father and the organization. I'm gonna send that to you. Got the podcast. Let me send that to you too.
You on your computer?
No, I'm on my phone,
Okay.
but I'm sending so you can run through it and break it down.
That looked like a glass cut to me.
That's what you
That
had
is
general
definitely
anesthesia for that.
that is definitely a glass cut to me, y'all. That is definitely a glass cut to me. That's glass. That is definitely a glass cut, y'all. Pay attention. Pay attention, y'all. Definitely a glass cut. Who you fooling? You can't fool me. You definitely can't fool me. We just cracked the case. This doctor is a fraud, y'all. This is the doctor behind setting up Tory Lanez, y'all. This dude set up Tory Lanez. It started with him. This is one of the key pieces to the evidence, y'all. Without this dude, without this dude right here, they don't get no case on Tory.
Facts.
This was the dude, this black dude. He was the one who set Tory up. He went in there and said that there was bullet fragments in a foot that it wasn't,
And gave her surgery.
and lied. All he did was he probably ain't do shit. He lied.
Yeah, but you show build the hospital for that shit. Fraud.
Hmm. And he did it for his daddy because Jay-Z and Rock Nation work with his daddy.
And they work with Obama. Ain't that a
Yep.
coincidence?
Chris
Very
J hit the
interesting.
link. Chris J hit the link. We done cracked the case, Chris J. Mr. 817, we done